What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Got a special client interview today with my guy, Victor. Victor's been in the program for a couple months now, and he's absolutely fucking killed it. But Victor, not going to steal your thunder. Why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
Well, I'm Victor, Victor Paz, from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And yeah, I mean, this shit's been awesome so far. And yeah, that's pretty much it. A little bit about me. I played college ball in the US for years and played 2 years of indie ball, and that's where I'm at right now.
Sweet. Well, welcome to the channel, dude. We can get into, the specifics here in a second, but why don't we go back to before you joined the program? Let's even say before we started the conversation of you joining. We have a little bit of history before then.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
So why don't you go back to the beginning?
So I had a friend that you were already working with. His name's Anthony Rodriguez. That was already in the program, and he was literally pushing me towards joining the program with you. And I was down. I was in the middle of a pro season of my second pro season. This would be my third, but I stopped playing right now. I was in the middle of my second pro season, and I was broke as fuck, bro. I can't lie. I knew I was gonna have to make an investment for this. I felt like I didn't have the money to do so, so I kind of pushed it off for like a year and then still coached, still did all that. But I knew that when the right time would come for me, at least financially, I'd be ready to put in the work and do what I had to do to get these results.
For sure.
Actually, when I think about it, I'm just like, fuck, I should have done it there. I could have made so much fucking content, bro, while being in season, bro. That's what I tell myself. No, I'm thinking of playing next year for that shit, bro.
Just strictly make content.
Just to make fucking content, bro, and talk to other guys, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's sick. So, okay. So the reason why you didn't join back like a year ago when we first
hmm
started talking was because obviously like you had things going on with your career, maybe the investment was a little bit, much for you at the time. What happened over those like let's say, I don't know, 12 months that you were thinking about it that whole time? Did you make any progress?
Um, I mean, I made progress in the sense of like, I mean, that whole year before that, I was traveling a lot. I worked a lot coaching wise, so I thought I was at a good place. I think the most money I made coaching wise in a month, doing like working 70 plus hours a week coaching, plus having a 9 to 5, but strictly just from baseball was around. I think I didn't even hit 5K. And I was like grinding, bro, like from in person to group setting, school, because I also work at a high school. I think what really did it for me was when tax season came around this year, and I looked at all the bread I made last year, with baseball and obviously with work, and I was like, this is fucking bullshit, bro. Like, I was fucking dying to do this shit. Like, I'm didn't even have a fucking life. And then I said, fuck it, let's do it. And it just happened to coincidentally happen, like tax season happened at the same time that like Anthony like had bought his car or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I knew this shit worked before. Now I 100% know even more than it works. So it's time. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're in the program now, brother.
Thanks. I'm happy to fucking be here, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously maybe it wasn't the right time for about 12
Yeah.
months, but then you get into the program. What was like your first, let's say, 2 weeks to a month? Like what did that look like and what were you kind of coming in with in terms of like a roster?
Okay, so for that time frame, I was coming in like with a pretty good roster, I would say, because I was already coaching for like 2, 3 years prior. So I had a lot of in-person athletes. Like I said, I work at a high school, so I had like all my high school athletes and softball girls, because softball isn't a big thing here. So like same coach, whatever. Um, so yeah, I just had a pretty decent roster leading into that. And the first month, couple weeks, month into the program, I think the thing that like kind of stood out was how much information, like valuable information, was in the program from the get-go. And I was just like, I would say a bit overwhelmed at the start because I was like, there's so much info at the same time. But then gradually being in it, I was like, okay, wait, let me just take one and apply, take one and apply, and go from there. And then slowly transitioning into getting my shit done and starting to translate it into like real life and to socials. And then now we are where we are right now.
For sure. Okay. So first 2 weeks to a month, you get in, you're like, holy fuck, this is a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. That's literally what I said.
What in particular about it was like overwhelming?
Um, I feel like what was overwhelming at first was like probably learning how to use these different like apps and like, oh, maybe I like this one better or that one better. And then from there, from choosing which one, like getting to know the app itself, and how to like optimize it and work efficiently with it. And then with time, everything gets easier, obviously, but then you develop like habits like I do this, and then you pre-make shit for this, that. So then after that, everything becomes easier because you already know how it works.
Yeah, for sure. So at the beginning, it's like a little bit overwhelming, it's a little bit difficult, but then
Yeah.
once you practice it, it gets better.
Yeah, so you gotta keep grinding while you're at it at the start and then learn from it because that's the most important part, right? You gotta learn from this shit and keep applying, keep posting, and keep moving forward.
For sure. And how much time would you say that it took to kind of set the foundations of your program?
When you say set the foundation, you mean like having the program up and running or like just having like a program built for an athlete?
Let's say both.
Both. I mean, within the first 2 weeks, I pretty much had a program for my guinea pig like running, but I would say now, like 2 months and a week or so into the program, I think now I have like my actual program built. Like now it's very more complete and advanced than what I was when I started. So I see the value in having your guinea pig and learning from them for now. So 100% better now than what it was before.
For sure. And if you had to guess, like how much time, like in terms of like working hours did it take to build out like that first program? And then how much did it take to get it to where it's at right now?
Um, I would say, I mean, shit, I was working like 70 hours a week, so time was like just like I didn't really give a fuck about the time I was spending on this shit. But I think uh the time frame that it took me, because since I was still working that many hours, I kind of like set time slots for myself during the day, and I think I set myself around 12 hours, 10 to 12, 15-ish hours just to get the like foundation built. And then from that time slot, I still work with those same time slots now. So obviously if I want to work more, I can, which I do, but like those are my base slots that I have for myself.
For sure. For sure. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then let's um let's fast forward a little bit. So obviously, first 2 weeks, 30 days, a little bit overwhelming. You're building the foundations. What happens next?
Um, what happens next is I got through because I was like in the hybrid program. So I built my hybrid program and then I joined the remote training university. So knocked down that whole hybrid shit in a month, right? In that first month. So jumping from the hybrid to the remote, I think what helped me the most was starting to apply stuff that I had already worked on, right? Started to work on with the hybrid one, with everything that has to do with the social media shit. So like how to generate leads, like paid advertisement, how to script better, um, like literally give them all as much information as you want to like to your athlete or the parents or whatever, whoever the fuck you're catering to. Because you're like kind of educating them on what you do and what you can bring to them. So, and the more they see your face, the better it is. Like I had a few of my athletes tell me, "Shit, the only thing I see on my Instagram is your face." I was like, "Good."
Oh yeah. And to be clear, like before you joined the program, like how much social media experience would you say that you had?
I would say that I had a little bit, not great, because I mean, I had a coaching page. I didn't have like just over 500 followers. Um, didn't really know how to edit. I would kind of just like do whatever I could. I always had ideas for like content creating in my head. I'm not gonna lie, but I never knew how to make it. So after I started learning, because I learned that also through this, how to make it, everything became easier. And then those ideas that I used to have, like now I can actually bring them to life now. So
That's
with
sick.
a with a mindset behind it, right? So with the end goal being, okay, we're funneling people down, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
What do you mean by funneling people down? Give away the sauce. What's your secret?
The sauce,
Yeah.
funneling people down is so you're basically generating leads, getting people to get to know you to your account, with content that's just literally bringing them to your account, asking for follows, save, this, that, soft CTAs, and then once they're in your account, you start posting shit that gives them information about what they want. So like let's say drills, breakdowns, this and that. And then eventually you start posting shit about like hard CTA. So like, oh, if you want this result, you gotta do this shit. If you want help doing stuff, comment this shit and then join my program to see what's up. And then that's like the end of the funnel. So you're bringing them all in, then you're like catering, like marketing to them, and then you're creating a sale from that shit.
Yeah. That's fire, bro. That's fire. What would you say to somebody who's like, "Oh, that's simple. I'm just gonna go do that on my own. I don't need their program."
Um, Shut the fuck up. It's it's not that easy. I mean, maybe if you have a fucking social media degree, master, you study this shit, maybe. But no, like it's so much harder than what it sounds like because like you can get lost trying to do other shit and get derailed from what you're actually trying to do, which is generate a fucking sale, you know, get a new athlete. So at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. Like we're not here for the views, we're here to make bread, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get clout from making the bread though, but like you gotta make the bread and get results to your athletes, and then after that, like everything becomes easier.
Yeah. And I like how you didn't stop at just like making money, like getting results for your athletes. Like
Yeah,
that's really the
100%. Because
cornerstone, right?
that's the end goal. That's why we're doing this shit. Because we're coaching and we want to help more people. At least in my what I'm trying to do. Um, like I said earlier, I mean I'm from fucking Montreal. Not a lot of baseball athletes are here. We have a large amount of athletes with no development. So I want to bring to them what I went and learned when I went to play in the US, when I played in DR, when I played in Venezuela, um, and bring it to literally to their phone and help as many athletes as I can, in my area and now fucking around the fucking world, I guess. Because bro, I had two calls with two kids in France, bro. Uh,
That's
and
sick.
I have a call scheduled with this softball going in Vancouver, which is fucking like New York to Cali in Canada. So
Yeah.
so it's fire. It's been fun. You get to meet new people, help more people. Even just the interacting with new followers, like people telling you, "Hey, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, like for posting this shit. It's helping me with my kids, this, that. I show your page to my kids all the time." So it's just like, oh shit, like I'm actually helping people.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
sick.
fun.
That's sick, bro. And obviously, like you're making all these connections. You got calls to people in France, Vancouver, yada yada yada, all over the place. You're making more of an impact, but you're also making more money.
Yeah.
So, since joining the program, what have the results been like in terms of like your actual business growth?
It's been pretty crazy. I think first month I joined, I made, I want to say 3K, something like that. which was still I felt like impressive because I was like, holy shit, I kind of made this shit out of like thin air, and I didn't feel like I'm really working. Uh, it was just like me with a few athletes, closest athletes that I knew, that were like, okay, I'm down to do this shit. And it's ironic though, because my I did the hybrid program, but my first three of my first two athletes were remote. So
Sick.
um, but yeah, but then now like when May came around, I'm like, bro, like when the calendar flipped to May, I was like, okay, like I have a little momentum going on for myself. Um, how do I keep this shit fucking rolling? And I'll get on the phone with Anthony. I'll tell him, bro, like I want to hit a fucking 10K month, and I'm gonna do this shit. And he's like, do that shit, bro. Anthony and me insult each other all the time. He's like, don't be a fucking bitch. Do this shit. And I was like, bet, say less. And then I started grinding, bro. Like starting uh learning what my followers wanted, like what kind of content they wanted. Started making my content structured to that, and then started posting it at certain times, like on certain different days, using my stories as well to generate like more like engagement, this, that. I started paying for paid advertising because I was like, bro, like I need to get more people to watch my shit. And then in the span of that month, I think I have like 250 new followers on my account and I made 10K. So I was like actually like 11K because I closed somebody else today. But yeah, so that's where we're at for May and fucking keep the fucking momentum going and try to get 15 next month if we can.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And yeah.
That's sick, dude. And I appreciate you telling the entire story too of how like it all transpired
Yeah,
because a lot of people probably watching this right now are like bull fucking shit. But when you talk
bro.
about how you're doing it and how you have a method to it, it starts to get a little bit more like
Yeah.
realistic.
Like, and if somebody doesn't fucking believe me, bro, I was driving trucks at FedEx, bro. We were working 6 hours at 6 days a week. And now I'm down to just fucking 2 days a week. And I work what, not even 10 hours for FedEx a week. I was working like 45 without including me, the high school coaching and my private lessons. So this shit fucking works, dude. Or girl, whoever's watching. But yeah.
And how much would you say you're working right now on like your online hybrid remote business?
Um, I'll take I work on it. I think I'm just like I always find little things to add and tweak all the time, like how to optimize my shit, make it better. So I feel like I'm working around still around 15 to 20 hours a week on my stuff. I definitely have more free time, so I'm happier I can get more lifts in and fucking go hit myself. Um, but I think I structured it differently. I think I did it like at first it was all like learn, 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 learn how to apply. Now I kind of have a method of how to apply. So the way I'm breaking it down is like, at least for this week, today was I had a call. So I had a call with somebody, I had this call, and I had to check in on my athletes. So I did that today. Tomorrow I have to work at the high school, so I'm gonna be at the facility. So tomorrow I'm probably gonna film all the content that I'm gonna need for the rest of this week and next week, like real wise. And then throughout the week, I'll just go through and edit those things and post the ones that I made last week for this week, and then keep going at it like that. And then whenever an idea pops in my head, write it down, fuck it, and then apply. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's how I would structure it. So instead of me telling you a certain hour, I would say I pretty much use every downtime that I'm not really doing shit to fucking keep doing this shit. And if I have a random question, um, I literally end up probably just calling Anthony.
That's awesome. So you've got, but I mean, it seems like you've got like a pretty good system and it's not really like killing you to run every single day.
No, no, not at all.
That's
So if
crazy.
anything, I have more time than I ever had before.
So you're making
For
more money, you have more time, and you're helping more athletes.
yep.
Yeah. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. We're scamming.
Yeah, this is 100% a scam. 100% a scam. I always say, like, take it from me. being in fucking Canada, like the exchange rate is different. So I got scammed twice because I'm here on this call and this channel with you, right?
You're hilarious, bro. What would you say, like, who is this program for specifically? Like, if somebody, is watching my content or even watching this video, who needs to join this program?
I feel like if you're a coach, any kind of coach, I think even I actually had this I actually referred your page to a barber, bro. I was like, yo, like you want to scale this shit? Like look at this guy. He's like, oh, I've seen his stuff. I was like, yep, that's what I work with. But yeah, that actually happened a couple days ago. But
That's crazy.
if you're any kind of coach, okay, fuck it, sports coach, any sport, whatever, and you feel overwhelmed with the amount of in-person lessons that you're doing, and you still want to help out your athletes, this is definitely the best way I can you can help out your athletes, and you can help out more athletes. I feel like my athletes themselves have said it that they feel like me working with them this way helps them even more than what it was when I saw them in person. So this is definitely the way to go. 2025. Get with the fucking program, you know?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. So the person who's feeling overwhelmed but wants to still help their athletes,
Yeah,
like doesn't want to like water down their service or anything like
yeah.
that. On the
That's how I felt. That's how I felt. I felt like from working so much, uh, when I was at that last 9 p.m. lesson, I mean 8 to 9 p.m. lesson, I was drained. We're starting my 9 to 5 at 4 a.m. Like I was waking up at 4 a.m. for that, and I had to do it 6 days a week. So I was like, when I got to that last kid, my energy was so shit, and I was like, I feel bad for the kid, bro. Like, he's paying me, and he's not getting like that energy that the first kid fucking got, you
Yeah,
know?
100%. And how is that fair to him?
Yeah, that's not fair at all.
Exactly. Exactly, bro. Well, okay, so that's the type of person that's like they're watching this. If they don't join, like, they should probably see a doctor or something like that because it's actually
Type
devastating
shit.
for them. What about what about somebody's watching this and you're like, yo, if you're this person, you shouldn't join. Like it's gonna be the biggest waste of your money, or like we don't want these types of people in the community. Like, who is
I
that?
mean, I feel like if you're not a disciplined person and you let yourself go all the time, you shouldn't join this shit because it's like anything. You're making an online training program for to help athletes. They need to be self-sufficient and independent to put in the work. So if you can't trust yourself to do this shit for them, why would the fuck would you offer it to other people? So if this is you, like, don't join this shit.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
I love that. But if you're disciplined, you want to help more athletes, you're feeling overwhelmed with your current situation.
100% join. This is for you, and this is where you should be.
Yeah, I appreciate that, dude. And moving forward, right? Where would you say are your plans for the future?
Um, for the future, I definitely want to keep helping. I mean, keep doing this stuff, obviously. So right now, since I'm running a hybrid and a remote program, I want to set what's on my mind already because we're in fucking Montreal, Canada, and it's fucking snows 6 months out of the fucking year. I'm kind of seeing how I'm gonna set my schedule with the facility. For me to have access to their facility at least 2 or 3 times a week. One for me to just make content in the facility, and 2 days for my athletes to be able to go in by themselves or with me. And yeah, that's probably the work right now. And then on top of that, probably scaling at some point, but not yet. I feel like I'm still learning a lot of stuff. But I think those would be like the next steps. Closer steps right now would be the same type of deal that I just said for the winter. Do the same stuff for the summer. Just set up slots like on Calendly or whatever, for my athletes to come and the ones that are the hybrid, right? Get their in-person session whenever they want it. And instead of me having them be like, okay, whenever you want to do your in-person session, just let me know, I'll figure it out. No, I'll just be like, hey, I do my in-person sessions like Tuesday, Wednesday, and these are the time slots. Like if you want it, these are the days. So yeah. So then you have more time for yourself, and then you're not just going left and right to 1 hour session. You can just blast everything done in the same day, and then you're done with it.
Yeah, that's sick. It sounds like you're really starting to kind of take control over your own time.
Yeah, 100%. I've always been a person that valued like their own time and never been afraid to like whenever I felt like my time wasn't like valued or like I was just feeling drained, like I had no life, just like take off. Like I've even work wise, I've always been like that. And so yeah, so whatever I can do to obviously still help out, but still feel sane in my own fucking life, like I'll gladly do.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Would you say that what you're doing right now is sustainable, or is it kind of like a one-time, like make some money quickly and then never make money again?
I mean, it's definitely sustainable. I feel like if you have a plan and you're constantly working towards improving and getting better, obviously. But if you think that because you made 10K in a month and it's gonna happen again next month, no, like you gotta make it fucking happen again. Like if you're not, like I said at the start, if you're not constantly working on it, then it's not gonna fucking work.
Yeah.
That's what the
You
discipline part at the start.
yeah. Dude, it's so important. It's so important. And you watched that video that I put in the group on Friday, right?
Yeah.
What was the message behind that?
Keep the momentum rolling. Once it started, like just keep going forward. Like don't stop. Keep going. What is it? Law in physics.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a law in physics that a moving object only moves like an object's only move if you put a certain force into it. I mean, it's
yeah.
the same
An
shit with
object,
anything in life.
yeah. An object in motion will stay in motion. An object at rest will stay at
We'll stay
rest
at
unless
rest. Yeah,
acted upon by an outside force.
there you go. You are
So,
that outside force, so fucking make it happen.
exactly. Well, brother, I mean, I got all my questions answered. If somebody watches this and isn't at least interested, I'm gonna be shocked. But it, what else you got to say while the camera's rolling? Is there anything in specific?
Um, I mean, honestly, I think I said everything I needed to say. I mean, if you're still not convinced after all that, then so this is probably not for you, and you should probably keep working your 9 to 5, and just stay where the fuck you're at right now. So yeah,
Well, I appreciate you, bro. And just in case somebody thinks that, you're an AI generated
yeah.
person or something like that, where can they find you?
This is actually fire. You guys can follow me or look at my page on Instagram. My at is VPlaz, so VPLAZ .baseball on Instagram. And yeah, quick shout out to my own program. If you live in the US and you want a hidden program structure, hidden plan that's gonna help you get better, like be self-aware, all that shit, whatever you want to get better at hitting. Um, Shoot me a text. And on top of that, since I live in Canada, it's cheaper for you because you win in the US. So keep that in mind. Exchange rate.
I love the plug, bro. I love the plug. Dude. You know what? Once you start selling stuff, you just never stop.
Bro, this shit gets addictive, bro. It gets addictive.
Yeah, 100%. Well, dude, I appreciate you jumping on. If you're a coach watching this right now and you're not already scheduled with our team, what are you doing? But if you are, we're looking forward to seeing you on the other side. If you haven't booked a call yet, then what are you doing? Click the link in the description. Anyway,
Yep.
Victor, appreciate your time, man.
Yes, sir.
And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.